Hi, welcome to Nosware channel. In this tutorial, I will show you how to bring your localhost web to the internet. First, in here, I have one simple page in my localhost using some. If I open localhost IP 127.0.0.1 with 8 port, it's open my .html file, and we will bring this to the internet. First, we open our modem and go to port forwarding, and in the port forwarding here we will try to setting and forward our localhost port to the router and to the IP public. In here I give the name of my port forwarding with web localhost, and protocol we select TCP because in here we configure IP address, not domain name. And for one connection, there is connection between your ISP and your localhost or your modem, and we fill one start port with port that we want to open internet via internet letter. Because I have a router after router from my ESP in here. After my ESP router, I have a local router MikroTik, and we need to fill the local area network IP address with my router in here. This is my router IP. If you don't have any router below your ESP, you can just fill with your computer IP. For LAN host, this is same with one start port. This is SIM port, and don't forget to enable this configuration for port forwarding and click Add. Okay, like I say before, because in here we have two routers. First router from ISP, and second this is my routers using MikroTiks. Then we need to setting firewall. Okay, we select firewall in here, and in the tab nuts you can click plus sign in here and go to general, chain, select destination nut or DST nut, and protocol, of course we select TCP. And for destination port, we fill same with our configuration in our first router or modem, 8811 in here, and the interface is referred to our connection between first router and second routers. And for action, we select destination NAT also, and IP address is refers to our localhost computers. We need to know how our computer's IP, and we click select internet and change adapter options. We can double click in our local area connection in here and click the tiles, and you can see this is our local IP address 192.168.25.2 or point 20, yes, point 25 and point 2 in here. And we need to fill in here our local computer's IP. If you don't have two routers, you can just fill this IP address in first modem. And we fill port with our localhost port is 80. Okay, it's refer to our web page that using port 18 here. If we try to open 80 port, we get the same page in here. You can see, and we can click apply and OK. Now we need to test in the Google Chrome using IP public, of course. In here I open what is my IP. This website is showing our public IP address. This is my IP public. And we can open our public IP address followed by port that we setting using 8811 port in here. And if using IP address like this, it's harder to remember, so we can using no IP facilities, we can change into the host name, and it's no problem if we don't have a static IP address because we can install dynamic update client. You can create free account in here because I have already have an account for no IP. I just need to log in first. You can create maximum 3 hostname using no IP, so be carefully to select your name. Okay, password is wrong. Let's try another password. Sorry, I'm a little bit forget my password in here. After you create account, you can create hostname in no IP, and you can go to dynamic DNS, and I have maximum hostname in here, so I cannot create again. You can create one if you create account. In here I have hostname nosware.ddns.net, and I can copy and open this domain name that easier to remember, followed by port like we settings before. You can see there, it's easier to remember rather than remember IP address. And in the no IP there is have a application called dynamic update client that will update our IP public automatically synchronize with our domain name or our host name. So I say it's no problem if you don't have static IP address. We can using this application that powerful, also easy to understand in here. You can see there in my host it refers to my account. I have three host name in here. As long as you don't close this application, your IP will update.